Charlie and Reggie was ill. They were looking ill. They had big rings around their eyes, and word sick out, and then he was talking about going round to their house and to see their mother, and he was going to hold them responsible if he got arrested. He wasn't going to go in quietly. He was going to take 6 coppers with him. That's all he kept saying. I will not go back to prison. I'm not going to go and spend the rest of my life in prison. The twins, they were afraid because they'd have helped him to escape, and they was going to be looking at some sort of time, 5 years apiece or something, for harbouring and helping to escape. And you know, spoke with Frank because he's capable of anything. There might have been a murder charge on the end of that.
The day before Christmas Eve, 1966, 11 days into the escape, the Krays and Freddie Foreman met to decide Mitchell's fate.
We went to a guy called Harry Hopwood's house. It was Charlie Kray, Reggie, and Freddie Foreman. So me and Harry Hopwood had left in the kitchen. They go in another room. About 20 minutes later, they came out, and it was Charlie who came to me, and he said, we've decided to take Big Frank down to Kent, and he's going to spend Christmas with Ronnie, but we've got to get him out of the flat in Barking, and we've got to separate him from this girl, because Ronnie don't want women running around his house. So it all sounded okay, it sounded true.
Donahue left Hopwood's flat believing Frank Mitchell was going to the country. He was wrong. In fact, Ronnie Kray had already ordered his murder and called on Foreman to be the executioner.
They thought I might do it a bit better. I'll be more proficient in doing it properly, you know. I suppose I was more sort of professional.
And they called you in because they wanted to get away with it?
Yeah.
Within hours, Foreman's gang was on the road to the hideout, and Mitchell was looking forward to a Christmas among trusted friends.
Oh, he was happy, because the way I put it, I said, you're on the move, Frank. You're going down the country to stay with Ronnie. Yeah. Oh, good. He said. I said, you'll be out to have Christmas together, and he went, yeah. Good, my old mate, right. At last, he was going to see him. You know. So that took his head off it. I said, the only thing is, I said, in case you get a stop, I said, you don't want Lisa with you. She'll follow on with me half hour later. You could see the sense of that. Taking care of Lisa. Yeah.
Did Mitchell trust you?
Yeah.
While Foreman's gang made their way across London, the Krays were relying on Donahue to charm Mitchell out of the flat and round to the rendezvous with the van in Ladysmith Avenue. Foreman was sitting in the back of the van with another man, widely known in the underworld as a killer.
Alfred Gerald was with me, and then he was a good man to have with you, and to get this done as quick as possible. And another person I won't mention who was driving, and they pulled the van out and met me, and we went over to Barking.
We walked from the flat 15 yards or so to the road. You know, as we turned into the road, there's a young copper on patrol walking, beat, and he's walking towards us, and I felt Frank stiffen up, and I had to say, calm down, you know. And we just strolled past the copper.
If you're sitting in a cold winter's night in the back of a van waiting to commit the horrible crime, it's not very nice feeling, obviously. It's nothing you're getting any pleasure out of doing. But of course, when he came into view, Albert brought him round the corner in the street lights, and he walked down, and the back door opened, and he climbed in and sat down. And it had to be, it's got to be done properly and mercifully as quickly as possible. And when the engine driver revved the engine to drive away, and it sounded like a backfire. And the sooner it was done and over with, the better, which it was. I mean, it sounds, I know it sounds very clinical and cold-blooded.
When you said you tried to make it quick, what does that actually involve?
Oh, hitting the target, in the spot where and it's not prolonged.
How many people were armed in the van?
Only two of them, Elf and myself. And it was all over in seconds. He didn't even know what hit him. I mean, it was done, finished.
Put Frank in first, and Freddie said, sit on a wheelbase. So I went to sit with him. So he went, no, you go up the front and tell the driver how to get back to the tunnel. And I didn't realise it at the time till afterwards. As he slammed his door, that was the signal for the guns. Mitchell sort of gone forward to the driver. And then the door banged and bow, 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 the shooting started. Now we're mobile. Then the gun stopped. The car was coming towards us. That was gone. Bosh opened up again. Then Mitchell was lying on the floor. And he started groaning. So they give him 3 round the heart. You could see his shirt jumping. And then there was bullets pinging. A couple of them must have missed because you could hear them pew, pew, off the side of the metal, you know. Smoke.
How many times was he shot?
Well, there was a revolver and an automatic. They'd say the automatic had 8 and the revolver had 5. And apparently one got jammed in the silencer, so I'd say there was 12 shots put in him. By now we've done the first right, we're coming up to the second. And he groaned again. I don't know if it was one of those where they sort of expel air or whatever, but that's when Gerard said, I'm empty, give him another one. So Foreman put the gun under his ear and pop. That was the last shot.
Who was Frank Mitchell's final executioner?
I was, actually. I had to finish it properly. But when it was done, we carried on, and Albert jumped out of the car at the first bus stop, wanted to go.
When I got out, it was a cold night. I had a big old Crombie coat on. I was waving it, get rid of the stench of this cordite or powder, whatever they used. I had about a 200-yard walk, which was okay. Stopped my legs wobbling and
Yeah, nothing to fear. I don't know why he wanted to get out the van so quick, because he was in no danger himself.
I was waiting for one myself, but I was pleased to hear Gerard say, give him another one, Freddie, I'm empty, because he's sitting next to me, so I've got half a chance. You know. I'm convinced that I've got to go, because I'm the middleman. But it didn't happen.
Donahue returned to the flat